The wrench slipped from his trembling hands and clattered loudly against the concrete floor, echoing through the silent garage like a gunshot. Every pair of eyes turned toward him, but he didn't look back. His chest tightened, his breath uneven, as the words of his boss still burned in his ears. Sharp, humiliating, final. He had just lost everything, for doing what he believed was right. If you believe kindness still matters in this world, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stories like this deserve to be heard and felt. The smell of oil and metal had always been home to Daniel. For nearly 8 years, the garage had been his world, a place where broken things came in and left whole again. He wasn't the fastest mechanic nor the most experienced, but he had something many didn't: patience. He treated every car like it belonged to someone who depended on it, because most of the time it did. That morning it started like any other. The garage buzzed with routine noise, engines revving, tools clanking, men shouting instructions across the shop. Daniel had just finished a brake replacement when he noticed the old sedan slowly pulling into the lot. It looked like it had traveled more miles than it should have, its paint faded, its engine coughing as it came to a stop. An elderly woman stepped out, her movements slow but dignified. She clutched her purse tightly, scanning the garage as if unsure whether she belonged there. There was something about her, something fragile yet quietly strong, that caught Daniel's attention. He approached her with a gentle smile, offering help before she even asked. Her voice was soft, almost apologetic, as she explained that her car had been making strange noises for days. She said she didn't drive much, only to the grocery store and the clinic, but lately, even those short trips had become frightening. Daniel listened carefully, nodding as she spoke, noticing the worry in her eyes more than her words. When he popped the hood, it didn't take long to see the problem. The engine was in bad shape, worn parts, leaking fluids, signs of long neglect. It wasn't a quick fix. It wasn't cheap either. He glanced back at her, standing alone near the entrance, her thin hands gripping her purse as if it held her entire world inside. Something in him hesitated. He knew what the repair would cost. He also knew what it meant for someone like her. So instead of walking back with a quote, Daniel made a choice. He worked on her car quietly, using spare parts the shop had set aside, fixing what he could, adjusting what he couldn't replace. It took him hours, longer than it should have, but he didn't rush. For him, this wasn't just another job. It was someone's safety, someone's peace of mind. When he was done, the engine purred softly, almost like it was grateful. He wiped his hands, walked up to the woman, and told her it was ready. She looked surprised, then nervous, asking how much she owed. Daniel shook his head gently, telling her it was nothing, just something small he could do. The way her eyes filled with tears caught him off guard. She tried to insist, fumbling through her purse, but he refused. Instead, he helped her into her car, reminded her to drive carefully, and watched as she slowly pulled away, a quiet smile on her face. For a moment, everything felt right, until it didn't. His boss had been watching. The shouting came quickly. Loud, angry, unforgiving. Daniel stood there, still holding the rag in his hand, as the man he had worked under for years tore into him in front of everyone. Accusations of theft, wasted resources, and disobedience filled the air. Daniel tried to explain, tried to say it wasn't about money, that sometimes people needed help more than a bill. But the words fell flat. In that garage, numbers mattered more than intentions. By the end of it, Daniel was told to leave. No second chances, no understanding. Just the cold finality of being fired. He walked out with nothing but his worn toolbox and a heavy heart. The days that followed were harder than he expected. Finding work wasn't easy, especially with no reference and no explanation he could give without sounding like a liability. Bills piled up. Calls went unanswered. Hope began to fade. At night, he replayed the moment in his mind over and over, wondering if he had made a mistake. Maybe he should have charged her. Maybe he should have followed the rules. Maybe kindness wasn't enough in a world that demanded profit. But every time doubt crept in, he remembered her face, the relief, the gratitude, the quiet dignity. And somehow that memory kept him from regretting his choice completely. Still, survival had its own demands. One evening, as he sat in his small apartment staring at an empty fridge, a knock came at the door. It was unexpected, almost out of place. He hesitated before opening it. A man stood outside, dressed in a neat suit, holding a folder in his hands. His presence felt official, almost intimidating. He asked for Daniel by name. Confused, Daniel nodded. The man introduced himself briefly, then handed over an envelope. Inside was an invitation, formal, precise, and strangely out of context with Daniel's current life. It requested his presence at a private estate on the outskirts of the city. No explanation, no details, just a date and time. Daniel almost laughed. It felt like a mistake. But something about it, the way it was delivered, the seriousness of the man, made him pause. With nothing left to lose, he decided to go. The estate was unlike anything he had ever seen. Wide gates, manicured gardens, a house that seemed to stretch endlessly under the sky. He felt out of place the moment he stepped through the entrance. Inside, everything was quiet. Too quiet. Too quiet. He was led into a large room where sunlight poured through tall windows, casting soft shadows across polished floors. And then he saw her, the elderly woman. She was standing near the window, dressed differently now. Elegant, composed, but unmistakably the same person. Her eyes met his, and for a moment neither of them spoke. Daniel's mind raced, trying to make sense of it all. She walked toward him slowly, her expression warm, almost proud. What he discovered next would change everything. But before we reach that moment, if this story is already touching your heart, don't forget to engage, share, and let others feel this journey too. And I have a special request. Comment "A kindness wins" if you believe even small acts can change lives. The woman revealed a truth Daniel could never have imagined. She wasn't just a struggling elderly driver. She was the owner of multiple businesses, including the garage that had fired him. Days earlier, she had chosen to visit her own establishments in disguise, wanting to see how customers were truly treated, not by policies, but by people. What she found in Daniel was something she hadn't seen in years: humanity, compassion, integrity that didn't bend under pressure. She had watched everything: the way he spoke to her, the way he worked without expecting anything in return, the way he chose kindness even when it cost him his job. And she had made a decision. Daniel stood there overwhelmed as she explained that she had been searching for someone she could trust, not just to fix cars, but to lead with heart. She offered him something far greater than a job: a chance. A chance to run one of her largest service centers. A chance to build something better. A chance to prove that kindness and success didn't have to be enemies. Daniel felt the weight of everything he had been through, the loss, the doubt, the struggle, and suddenly it all made sense. The moment that had broken him had also led him here. He accepted. Not just because of the opportunity, but because it aligned with who he truly was. In the months that followed, Daniel transformed the garage into something different. Customers weren't just clients, they were people with stories. Employees weren't just workers, they were part of something meaningful. Word spread quickly, not just about the quality of service, but about the feeling people had when they walked through the doors. For the first time, Daniel wasn't just fixing cars, he was restoring faith. And every now and then, when things got difficult, he would remember that day. The moment he chose kindness over convenience, and how it changed his life forever. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that doing the right thing still matters, take a moment to comment, and share. Your support keeps stories like this alive. And who knows, it might inspire someone to choose kindness today. Because sometimes the smallest act of compassion can lead to the greatest change of all. Daniel stood in the center of the vast office, the weight of the offer settling slowly into his chest like a quiet storm. It didn't feel real. Just days ago, he had been sitting in a dim apartment, counting coins and questioning his worth. Now, he was being handed an opportunity most people only dreamed of. But with that opportunity came something heavier than excitement: responsibility. The elderly woman, now no longer just a fragile stranger, but a powerful figure who had been watching him all along. They studied his expression carefully. She wasn't just offering him a position, she was testing something deeper, whether his kindness had been a moment or a principle. Daniel didn't answer immediately. His silence wasn't hesitation. It was reflection. He thought about the garage he had worked in for years, the coworkers who had laughed behind his back for being too soft, the boss who had valued profit over people. He thought about the countless customers who left with repaired cars but carried frustration in their eyes. Then he thought about her, The way she had stood there, uncertain and alone, the way something as simple as being treated with dignity had meant so much. And in that moment, Daniel realized something important. This wasn't just a second chance for him. It was a chance to change everything. He accepted the offer, not with excitement, but with quiet determination. The first few weeks were far from easy. The service center he was given to manage was large, busy, and filled with employees who were used to a completely different way of doing things. Many of them had heard about him, the mechanic who got fired for working for free, and they didn't take him seriously. To them, he wasn't a leader. Some followed his instructions half-heartedly, others ignored them entirely. A few openly questioned his decisions. For the first time since receiving the opportunity, doubt crept back in. Maybe they were right. Maybe he didn't belong here. But every time that thought surfaced, he reminded himself of why he was here in the first place. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove something right. Instead of forcing authority, Daniel chose something different. He listened. He spent time with each employee, learning their strengths, understanding their frustrations. He didn't bark orders. He worked alongside them, just like he always had. He got his hands dirty again, fixing engines, assisting on repairs, showing through actions what he expected from them. At first it didn't change much, but slowly something shifted. One mechanic noticed that Daniel stayed late to help finish a job even when he didn't have to. Another saw him calmly handle an angry customer, not with defensiveness, but with patience. A receptionist overheard him telling a struggling client they could delay payment without penalty. These were small things, but small things have a way of growing. Customers began to notice the difference too. They weren't just being served, they were being heard. Problems were explained clearly. Costs were discussed honestly, and when someone truly couldn't afford a repair, Daniel found a way to help without making them feel ashamed. Word began to spread. At first, it was just a few positive reviews. Then more. Soon people started choosing the service center not because it was the cheapest or fastest, but because it felt different. Warmer, real. And as the customers changed, so did the employees. The same workers who once doubted Daniel began to respect him. Not because he demanded it, but because he earned it. They started staying late too, taking extra care with repairs, treating customers with the same patience they had once questioned. It wasn't perfect. There were still challenges, still mistakes, but the culture had begun to transform. And for the first time, Daniel felt something he hadn't in a long while. Pride, not in himself, but in what they were building together. Months passed, and the service center became one of the most trusted in the city. Profits didn't disappear, they grew. But this time, they grew alongside something else: trust. One afternoon, as Daniel reviewed reports in his office, there was a familiar knock at the door. He looked up to see her, the woman who had changed everything. She stepped inside, her presence calm but commanding, her eyes scanning the room as if she could feel the difference in the air. Daniel stood up, a quiet smile forming on his face. He didn't need to say anything. She already knew. They walked through the service center together, observing the mechanics at work, the interactions between staff and customers, the subtle but undeniable atmosphere of respect and care. At one point, they stopped near the entrance where a young man stood nervously beside his broken car, explaining that he didn't have enough money for the repair. Before Daniel could step in, one of the mechanics approached the young man, listened carefully, and then reassured him that they would figure something out. No judgment, no frustration, just understanding. The woman glanced at Daniel, her eyes softening. This was what she had hoped for us. Later back in the office, she spoke quietly, her voice carrying a sense of fulfillment that went beyond business success. She told him that what he had built here wasn't just profitable, it was rare. And rare things are valuable. Daniel listened, but his thoughts drifted for a moment. Back to that day in the old garage, the shouting, the humiliation, the feeling of losing everything. If someone had told him then that it would lead to this, he wouldn't have believed them. But life has a strange way of rewarding the choices that feel the hardest in the moment. And sometimes the doors that close behind us are the ones that guide us to where we truly belong. As the sun began to set outside, casting a warm glow across the service center, Daniel stood by the window, watching as the last customers of the day drove away. He didn't see just cars leaving. He saw stories, people who had come in worried and left relieved, strangers who had been treated like they mattered, And in that quiet moment, he understood something deeply. Kindness isn't weakness. It's strength, it's risk, it's sacrifice. But most importantly, it's impact. Before we come to the end, if this story touched your heart even a little, take a moment to like, comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And here's a special request. Comment a kindness wins if you truly believe that doing good never goes unnoticed. Because Daniel's story isn't just his, it's a reminder that in a world driven by profit, speed, and competition, there is still space for compassion. And sometimes all it takes is one person willing to choose it, one decision, one moment, one act of kindness that seems small but changes everything. And maybe, just maybe, the next person to make that choice will be you.